This conference will now be recorded.
So we have covered the basics like cloud characteristics and basics of cloud computing. So today I'll be starting with one more concept, which is with regards to the basics of this technical stuff, what we are going to start, which is called a resource group. Okay. So I will send the notes, whatever I have written here in my system, like all these cloud characteristics. I think I've already shared the document and the subscription types and all these models. I'll share it with you over the email so that you can proceed it uh, with your learning later. Right. So the concept which I'm going to discuss today is resource group. So in order to discuss this resource group, I wanted to draw some basic diagrams. Let's say for any of your requirements, I'll take some logical examples. Okay. So let's say when you consider any college or school, you're going to have each and every section separately. Let's say I'll take it as let's say eighth class. Okay. And if you consider another section, let it be like eighth class A or eighth class B, whatever it is, and I'm considering it as ninth. It means you are segregating each and every student based on their classification, be it be or age or the classes that they are studying. So likewise, even if you consider college level branches, whatever it is, so you're going to be separating all of the students in each and every section. So why to separate? Because 8th class syllabus is different, ninth class syllabus is different, and 10th class syllabus is different. It means you are segregating each and every student which is with regards to that specific class, right? And if you consider college, it is the same thing because you can teach the subjects easily, and sometimes you can also combine ninth and 10th class students for some sort of concepts. There can be some common concepts as well. So, like this, it means it is very limited. Like sometimes, if you need to combine both ninth and 10th just to give some common sessions, you can combine, but that is a rare case. So, where you can use another like common room where you can have get together with all the students and combine. You can call it as conference hall or auditorium, whatever it is. Now, the same example, if you consider in enterprise environment, each and every enterprise will have different departments. Okay, so I'm going to draw one more kind of this one. Let's say this is HR, and I'm going to use this one as, let's say, finance. I'm just considering some uh, a, a generic departments. Okay, if you want, you can consider many more departments. And similarly, we will have a project based. Let's say I'm working for a banking project. I'll be having one separate offshore data center. So I'll call it as project one. And then for another project, I'll have, I mean, if you are going to office and if there is a data center, you are going to have, okay, forget about data center. Just let's consider this one. It means even in enterprise also, you are segregating your applications as per the best practice. This is the best practice where you have to segregate all of your HR department, servers, applications, and all together in a separate section so that it will be easy for administrators to handle these servers or storage which are related to HR. I'll repeat. In enterprise environment also you'll have different types of applications, and each and every application uh, will be coming under the category of different departments. So now, if you consider this kind of entities in Azure, we have a concept called resource group where you can group. Okay, before I go to the definition, again I'll come back here. You can have multiple sections. It means you can segregate all the entities in separate sections, and then it will be easy to manage these applications or these departments individually. Now, what if there are combination of some applications for HR and finance together, just like that? You can create some common group as well, like common section where you can have a combination of both HR and finance. So it means now I'm coming to Azure. So in Azure also, as I said, it is a concept of resource group. It means you are going to group multiple resources together under one logical entity. Let's say this is for one XYZ application or XYZ project. So for this project, I need 100 servers and I need 100 terabytes of storage and I need uh, 10 websites, 10 applications, and I need SQL database for this project alone. So whatever the requirement that I have here, I can group all the resources together under one logical entity. So whereas if you come back to the school, it is a physical sections like where you'll have separate rooms. And even if you come to office, it is a separate departments. And when it comes to data center, you'll have all the combination of applications together. And so in some big data centers, you'll have separate uh, configurations. But whereas in Azure, you're going to combine all the resources together for one specific project, or you can even combine all the departments under one entity, which is not a best practice. Okay, so which is not a best practice. So it means you are going to segregate all the resources together for each and every project in a logical way so that it will be easy to define and manage. So let me write, when I say resources or services, just to give you the terminology here, it can be a VM, storage, web app, mobile app, networking, or let's say a VNet. Okay, so it means whatever the services that are available in Azure, we are going to call it as a resource or a service. So don't confuse with these terms. I'm going to use both as we move on. Okay, so the configuration that here we are going to discuss is the resource group, which is very, very basic concept for each and every resource that you are going to work on. Let's say if you want to create a storage, you need this resource group. Considering this concept, you're going to group all the resources together for one specific application and as part of the best practices. So I'm going to write a simple definition here. Grouping of multiple resources, and grouping of multiple resources together under one logical entity or logical name to manage and administer easily. So that is the benefit of a resource group. Means you're grouping multiple resources together under one logical entity, or you can call it as a logical name to manage and administer resources easily. So I will repeat. I'm going to use one more uh, this one. Yeah. So here, let's say you have got 100 applications. I'm going to create 100 resource groups, because each and every application has a business requirement to have a dedicated resource group to easily manage. So some organizations, some small organizations, they will use some shared resources. In that case, you can use one shared resource group. Let's this I will call it as RG. Okay, as a shortcut, one shared resource group. They'll be deploying all their applications or servers under this logical entity, which is fine for them. But when it comes to standard enterprise, standard organization, you should follow some best practices to deploy a standalone resource group for each and every application, RG3, whatever it is. So it depends on your name. And even while giving the name, you should follow some naming standards that we will be seeing at later stages. So now, let's say we have got uh, multiple environments. So let's say I've got, sorry, okay, let it be. So I will change that setting later. So we have got multiple environments. Any
అరేనా
question? Yes.
అలా ఈశ్వర్ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. మీరు అప్పుడప్పుడు కొద్దిగా తెలుగు వర్డ్స్ కూడా యూజ్ చేయండి అన్న, కొంచెం బెటర్ గా ఉంటది.
No, no, I can't use Telugu words. That will lose my flow. I can use, but not
ఓకే,
every time. Yeah, I mean, నా ఫ్లో
ఓకే,
వెళ్తుంది అదే ప్రాబ్లం.
ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
Okay, if you want purely in Telugu, I can tell, but the thing is, all these terminologies are different. So we'll see.
No, no, no,
I mean,
not. I'm not telling like that. Just I'm asking you whenever you're telling definitions, right? Once definition is completed, you can complete from at least in Telugu word and
no,
some.
no, so the reason I'm not using Telugu is just to maintain some standard, and also uh, I'm using a simple language. So that's the reason I'm not using Telugu. That's fine. We can use wherever is applicable. So going forward,
No
still
problem.
there are some examples which I need to explain you in Telugu. So that will be useful.
No problem. Brother. Okay. Get it. No problem.
Okay. Uh,
Go ahead and
yeah, yeah. What was that I'm discussing? Uh, okay. Resource group environments. Right. Yeah. So when you consider your organizational resource groups, it means applications. Each and every application will have again different environments. Let's say production. Okay, sorry. Let me close this and open once again so that we will reset its settings. Okay, so each and every organization will have different environments as well for each and every application. Let's say again I'm drawing this one. This is XYZ application or XYZ project, whatever you call. Let it be a project or application. Generally, each and every application is called as project, or sometimes under one project you'll have multiple applications where you'll be using one common resource group. So now let's say this is one application, and under that there are production and non-production. Let's consider production and non-production, and even you'll find uh, dev as well, or pre-prod, whatever you call. There are different names which you can use. So let's say when I say production, this is the solution where each and every business user is using to generate business. And if you consider pre-production or SIT or dev or whatever it is, so here you're going to work on that specific application to develop and improve the features so that you can use it in the production without any issue. So you'll be doing all the development work here, and then you'll be pushing this one to pre-production for testing, or to see the behavior of the application, how it's going to work in the production, and then you're going to push it to production. So there will be multiple environments as well. Likewise, for one single application, you are going to create multiple resource groups. Let's say I'm going to use prod XYZ resource group, and then I'm going to create pre-prod XYZ resource group, and then we have got SIT XYZ resource group. It means by looking at the name of the resource group, you should be able to identify what kind of resources are there on that resource group. Okay, so when we move in advanced sessions, you're going to understand about the subscription level division as well, but let's skip that one. We know only resource groups. We can segregate these resource groups based on your environments and based on your applications, right? So this is the theory, and let me know if you have got any questions till this point, so that if there are no questions, then I'll move on to next section. I mean, to show you how to create a resource group and things like that.
No, you mean like we can create the sub resource group under the one resource group? That's what it means.
No, 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 it is not possible.
Mm.
You're going to create a separate resource group. So, okay, maybe this is confusing you. So
Mm.
here, this box is not resource group. This is application. This
Okay.
is a logical, and let's say you have in your mind, uh,
Hari sir, we receive from a customer to one application, so we create one resource group each and every
okay, it depends. That's
one
what I'm
each
telling.
application.
Exactly. It depends. See, that's what I've given multiple scenarios to you. So it means if customer wants all the resources under one resource group, you can go ahead and deploy. If customer wants separate resource group for each and every application, you can deploy. That is the best practice, because you can easily manage and administer all the resources easily. So as a cloud administrator, you have to give recommendation that it is recommended that to have a separate resource group, so that you can use and manage and restrict, control whatever you use easily to manage the resources. Like, because of some security regulations, you have to follow some security guidelines as well. So you cannot mix prod and pre-prod together, right? Even though it is one application, you cannot mix here and there like prod and pre-prod. So that if you mix prod and pre-prod together in one resource group, there are chances that accidentally you might do some configuration changes in production that will affect business, right? So to avoid that, so I'm going to use one more, this one. Let's say you have got XYZ application, and then I've got ABC application as well. What I'm going to do is, so first I will check how many environments are there for this application, because I cannot go blindly and create a resource group with this application name. I have to check how many environments are there. Let's say I've got 3 environments, and for this I've got only 2 environments. It depends. Environments are totally dependent on the application uh, business criticality. There is no guarantee that each and every application will have 2 or 3 environments. Sometimes you will see only one environment. It depends on application functionality. Let's say for this you have got 3 environments, and prod, and you can call it as non-prod, and then here I'm going to use SIT or dev. So here, let's say we have got only prod and then non-prod. Okay. So now If you want to create a resource group, I'm going to create a separate resource group for production in the name of prod-xyz. So what is this xyz? XYZ is the application name, and environment is this application environment, and you can call it as org. So that's the reason naming standards are also very important in cloud platform. If you have hundreds of I'm going to show real-time subscription as well, how they have defined the naming standards and how they have segregated each and every application in different entities. Okay, so you're going to create like this. So it is not only the creation, just like in our school. First, you are going to construct these buildings, and then you're going to uh, join the students to this eighth class based on the age, right? So student 1 will come here, and student 2, student 3, likewise. Based on the capacity of this classroom, you will be filling this classroom after taking admissions. Same like ninth class. Even for cloud platform, we'll be creating first a boundary. So we'll be creating a boundary first. After creating the boundary, we are going to create whatever is needed for this business. Let's say you need one virtual machine, and you need one web app, and you need one database, you need storage. You are going to deploy all of these resources into this required resource group. Okay, so that's the process that we are following here. And have you got any questions still?
Hari, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Hari. So coming to this broad environment, again, if there is any other environments are there behind that prod, again they are come under this prod XYZ. No?
No, 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 no. See, so it means I am speaking about only one application. You will have hundreds of applications, right? I have named here XYZ, and the other application is ABC, and then I'm going to use one more application, let's say HR application. So this prod environment is not applicable for all applications based on the naming standards I am going to define. It is applicable only for this app. So for this HR, I'm going to create one more like this prod HR. Each and every application will have separate domain. So let me dig into the subscription and show you how to create, and then it will be easy for you to understand instead of drawing these diagrams here.
Yeah, just one second, Hari. So actually, what my intention is, for example, XYZ, it is a like, for example, it's a web application. So under that
Yes.
web application, if we are there are multiple resources, they require multiple resources. For example, storage is a one type of resource under.
No, no, no. Okay, I
Uh,
understand. I got your confusion. So when I say this XYZ web app, it is again a logical name. It is not a resource group. See, for for a web application, you need a server, right? You need a storage, and you need a database or whatever it is. You need some other components which are needed for website. All these components will be deployed under a specific resource group.
okay, okay.
Yeah, take an
Maybe
example
మేము
of this.
పార్టీ క్రియేట్ చేసినాక మాకు క్లారిటీ వస్తుందన్న అంటే మేబీ వీఆర్
Uh-huh.
జస్ట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్
Okay.
హియర్ విత్ దిస్
ఏంటి?
యా mostly I think once we create a resource group probably we can understand this better.
Yeah. So I'm coming back to this portal. So in the home page, still I did not share credentials with you. I will share it with you by today or tomorrow. I have to create accounts for you guys, and then I will share. So yeah. So from this home page, you can see the resource groups, or you can go back to this resource group here. from this context menu, you'll find this resource group. If not, you can even search for resource group here, and you will find option to create a resource group. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this home page, click on this resource groups, and here you have an option to create. So you have to choose the subscription. So if you have, or if your account has linked with multiple subscriptions, you will be show like it will show multiple subscriptions here. So you have to choose the right subscription that you want. Okay, it is not always one subscription for you, but at least in this labs you will have only one subscription. But when you work in the enterprise, you are going to have multiple subscriptions. You have to choose one subscription. So let's say I want a resource group for uh, HR department. I'm going to use like this. And location, I want to deploy this one in, you can choose any location based out of this. Okay, I'm going to deploy in uh, West US. Okay, because everyone is familiar with this terminology, US. So I'm creating with this West US region. So then next option is, there is an option to go to tags. I don't want to confuse you with after discussing, to discuss this one. I'm skipping this option. I'll go directly with this review and create. So, but before I go, I'll repeat. I have chosen subscription. I have chosen resource group. It means I have given a name, considering that this resource group belongs to HR department or HR application. Now I have chosen the location, review and create. So it will validate. If there is any name which is already existing with the same name, it's going to fail. Okay, now click on create. So resource group creation is very simple, and you can see that there is a resource group created and it is deployed in West US location. So what I have created is HR department resource group. If you consider and come back to our diagram, whatever we were calling XYZ, consider XYZ is called HR department in this context. Or if you still want to create XYZ itself, just to make your make you understand better, XYZ application. And this time I can go with this again, West US, review and create. So now you can see that HR department resource group is created, XYZ application resource group is created, but I have done a mistake here because I did not give the environment here. Of course, you can go with any name in our labs, but in the enterprise environments, I'm just giving you the heads up in the real-time scenarios. I'm going to show the enterprise subscription as well. If you consider enterprise scenarios, you have to clearly mention what kind of resource group it is. Is it related to production or is it non-prod? Because if you have hundreds of resource groups here for your hundreds of applications, it is going to be difficult for you to go through this. Okay, so let me go back to this one of the resource group. From the overview page, for now we have just created a boundary. It is just a boundary in the name of HR department. So still we need to deploy many things, but that deployment will be, sorry, someone please go on mute. Okay, so whatever we have created in the subscription, it is just a boundary, that's it, in the name of HR department. Whatever we need it for HR department, we have to deploy, and still we have time to discuss that topic. That is next level. First we need to understand this basics. Okay, so is it clear now, Prem?
Yes, sir. My doubt is that is different. Okay, go ahead. If
No, no, tell
I'm
me,
clear, then I will.
let's clarify that one also. Tell me.
So you have created that HR department resource group. So after that, under that resource group, again there will be different environments are there, na. So for example, three environments are there under that HR department. Again,
Mm-hmm.
for example, say X, Y, Z, three are the different environments under that HR department. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, again coming to X environment, there should be two more environments are there, sub
No, no, no,
environments.
no. See, that's what I told. I've given the answer. The problem here is this is not a resource group. What I'm speaking. This is just, let's use some other symbol. This is just an application, or this is just application. So now let's come back to the portal. So here I've created HR department resource group, and you meant to say that you wanted to create three departments. So I'm not going to create under this. What I can do here is create, let's say, prod HR department hyphen resource group, and let's use ESTS itself. Create, and I'm going to give the naming units in the name of prod and pre-prod like this. There is no concept like under the resource group if you want to create resource group. Yes, you can still create, but that is not a best practice. So I'm going to create here pre-prod. What is that? HR department source group. Don't confuse. I'll repeat again. And we have mentioned dev as well, right? Dev HR department hyphen RG HTS create. Now you see here, the first time which we have created, I did not give any department. It means
Yeah.
it is considered as a generic name, or it is not created. I mean, it is created without following the best practices, right? So what I can do is I'm going to delete this. Okay.
Okay.
You're not going to create anything under this because it is wrong. If there are any resources deployed, you have to be very careful before deleting the resource group. We'll explain. It will be more, even more clear for you. What I understand here is, in the diagram, you have considered this one also one resource group at the top one. So that's the reason you have got confused. Let's consider only application name, and then under the for that application you need three different environments. You are going to create in this format. Where is this? Okay, it is still getting deleted, which is fine. Let me refresh this page. One second. Right, so that will go off, but the best practice is like this: prod HR department and pre-prod dev. In this case, for any HR department application which is related to production, I can directly come back to this resource group and deploy it, or I can choose this resource group while deployments. So that is possible, and this is how we are going to create. And for now, I have used location east US. So in most of the cases, this is very crucial. So is it clear, Prem, now?
Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
Right. So in most of the cases, you will be using one common location or one common region for each and every organization. Let's say you are working for Wipro, and Wipro wanted to deploy all of their internal applications in Azure. Okay. In that case, Wipro will choose South India location or Central India location based on your business. And it is not going to deploy at different locations for different applications. Of course, if there are requirements, it will deploy, but it is always recommended for the enterprises to choose one region because of their availability. It means data centers availability and government rules and regulations and legal and data compliance policies. They have to follow all the rules. So then only they can choose one best location. So most of the customers from European countries, they are going to use North Europe. Yeah, they are going to use North Europe, and they're going to use West Europe, and they're going to use this UK South, North, and these departments. I mean these locations. And most of the US projects will be deployed in central US locations, and you don't need to travel there. But I'm just saying, even while choosing this location also, you should be very careful. Of course, for our lab, you can deploy all of your resources in different regions, different locations, wherever it is allowed. Okay, so that's how we are going to create this resource group configurations, and this is very basic. So after creating resource group, still we have got many settings which I am going to discuss. Okay, you need to understand all of these settings to make you a better understanding of this Azure configurations. Okay, so we will see step by step, but for now, this is the method to create a resource group. For now, we have just created a boundary. You can see that there are no resources. It means we have just created a boundary. So there is no resource inside this. And to deploy that, still we have a lot of time to cover all the basic settings from the resource group, and then we will see how to use that configuration. It is simple, which we are going to see it in later stages. And we have created three boundaries like dev, pre-prod, prod for HR departments. So everywhere I have used hyphen RG. When I see RG, it means it is a resource group, or even from now onwards, you should be identifying these logos as well, these symbols, because if you look at each and every service has got a different logo or different symbol. So going forward, when we move to the next level of sessions like advanced sessions, uh, we will be working on design part as well. So in the design part, we will have only these symbols. So I'm preparing for that design setup as well. So be prepared for that to by understanding all these symbols as well. Okay. So these symbols are very much required as we move to the next level of Azure. Even in your career, it is required. No, if we select the region which is not relevant for you, you can't make changes. Just give me a second, I'm getting a call. No. So, Raghu, for your question, once you create a resource group in specific region, there is no option to modify this. The only option that you have to do is you have to delete existing resource group and create new resource group. Of course, you can create that, I mean, you can delete and create easily, but in real-time platform, let's say you created the boundary and then deployed all the resources just like that. For these students, you have physically constructed this building, and if you want to, you have deployed everything, every student is there. If you want to change these guys to the next class, it is very simple because it is a physical moment. But here, there is no option. You have to delete all the resources and then create a new resource group. So that is going to be a bad process, I would say, to consider.
You mean we can't really, we can't even change the location or anything as such?
No, no, no. You can't change the location. The only thing
No,
is you have to delete and recreate, or you have to move the resources from this, like just like that, create a new resource group with the right name and location, and move resources from this resource group to another resource group.
okay, so
Okay,
that
that
is
is
possible.
kind of migration. Yeah, that is possible, but that will take a lot of your time. It is not very easy.
Okay,
Okay, you should be very careful when you are defining any of your
resource group.
names before the deployment. You should verify, double check, whatever you call, and then create. Not only this resource group, any resource that you are going to create. There are very limited options to rename. You should be very careful if you want that proper naming standard. So Raghu, for your question again, boundary means, again, I'm coming to this basic. See, what is this for each and every, let's say your home, you have got four walls, and this is a boundary for you. Once you enter, all these four sides are boundaries to your home, and inside that you have your own belongings, and you're going to stay there and you're going to live there. Everything is happening in your home. Similarly, for Azure, or in technical world, when I say a resource group definition, it is a logical boundary. It means you're going to create one group or one room, and where you're going to deploy all of your resources to work for this. So as we move on, you'll be able to understand. But for now, go through this definition and try to create a resource group, and then it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, any questions?
Sir, I have a small question. Doubt. If in case accidentally resource group deleted, any
Hmm.
chances recovery chances, any options is there?
I will show that. So for you, once I give, sorry, can you go on mute? Okay. So once I give access to you, you have to delete the resources once you're done with your lab. Otherwise, the subscription credits, what I have got here is 10,672 credits. I'm going to share the same subscription to everyone. So this will go off. Now you have to delete each and every resource that are doing in your labs. Click on this, delete, and see here, this is a warning. A deleting resource group is irreversible, and the action you are about to take can't be undone. So there is no option to recover this resource group. You should be very careful. If you have any resources that are there under this, it means, okay, let me use Telugu here. Students క్లాస్లో ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి, డైరెక్ట్ గా నువ్వు ఆ బిల్డింగ్ కొట్టేస్తానంటే ఏమవుతారు స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ? They'll get damaged, or before that they have to like move from that building, and then you have to delete. So there is no option to recover.
Yeah,
Instead, you can
got
create
it.
one more resource. Yeah, same thing. So you can create this resource, I mean, delete this resource group, but it is irreversible. You can see all the notifications here. Oh, this backup is an all next level, Raghu. Yeah, there are various options. We'll go step by step so that it will be easy for you to understand and learn. Yes, we have concepts of backup as well, but not at the resource group level. It is the resource level. Okay. Any other questions? So now we know how to create a resource group. It is just a blank resource group. Don't think anything beyond that resource group creation. Okay. Don't think about applications or virtual machines, storage, networks, anything like that. So we will come there once you are clear about all this settings under the resource group. Yes, creation of resource group is very simple. Anyone can create by looking at this lab. You can go ahead and click on create and just provide the name, review and create after choosing the location, right? Anyone can create. Now you know that. Now, after the creation of resource group, there are various settings that you need to understand. Okay. So once you create and click on this resource group, you have various settings here like create, delete, refresh, open query and all. So I'm going to discuss some concepts or some settings as we move on. But for now, we have seen already how to delete a resource group. Click on this and you have to type the resource group name or copy the resource group what you are going to delete. This is just for confirmation. Okay, this is just a confirmation that you have to give. So at the moment, there are 0 resources in this resource group that will be deleted because it is just a blank resource group. So అక్కడ empty ఉన్నది కాబట్టి delete చేసిన నీకు పెద్ద ఇష్యూ ఏముండదు. ఓకే, బట్ ఇన్ ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ లెవెల్లో డిలీట్ చేయాలి అంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్. నా దగ్గర విఎం ఉంది, ఏదో అప్లికేషన్ ఉంది, స్టోరేజ్ ఉంది, అవన్నీ డిలీట్ చేసి తర్వాత రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్ డిలీట్ చేయాలి. ఒకవేళ అవి డిలీట్ చేయకూడదు అనుకుంటే ఇది డిలీట్ చేయలేదు, ఎందుకంటే దర్ ఇస్ అ బిజినెస్ ఇంపాక్ట్ ఇఫ్ యూ డిలీట్ అదర్ రిసోర్సెస్. అందుకోసమనే ఇక్కడ రిసోర్సెస్ అంటే ఏంటి అని చెప్పి ఇక్కడ రాశాను చూడండి. ఇట్ క్యాన్ బి స్టోరేజ్, వెబ్ యాప్, మొబైల్ యాప్, వినెట్, ఎనీథింగ్. Okay, everything is considered as a resource under resource group. Right. Now, yeah, try to delete all of your resource groups once you're done with your lab. And from the overview page, you have your subscription name and also subscription ID. So this subscription ID is unique to each and every organization. So let's say You are using this subscription, and this ID is unique for this subscription, not for the resource group. For all the resource groups in your subscription, this will be the unique ID. So it is not recommended to share this subscription ID outside of the organization. So there are chances that your subscriptions may get compromised. సో సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఐడి సెక్యూర్గా ఉంచుకోవాలి, బయట వాళ్ళకి షేర్ చేయొద్దు, బికాస్ హ్యాక్ అయ్యేదానికి కూడా ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి యూజింగ్ దిస్ సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఐడి. ఓకే, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ యూనిక్ టు యువర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్. లెట్స్ సే మీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో 10 సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. 10 సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్స్కి 10 డిఫరెంట్ ఐడీస్ ఉంటాయి. ప్రొడక్షన్కి ఒకటి, నాన్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఒకటి, మీ చాయిస్ అనమాట. ఇట్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యూ హౌ యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు చూస్. అండ్ లొకేషన్ ఈజ్ ఈస్ట్ టు ఎస్. You can see that location, but there is no option to rename or modify anything. Okay, and no deployments. Sorry, you can see that deployments, there are no deployments in the country. We have just created a boundary. Okay, so boundary create చేసాం, అందులో ఏమీ డిప్లాయ్ చేయలేదు. సో ఏమీ డిప్లాయ్ చేయలేదంటే, so you can play with this, you can delete whatever you want, you can do all the settings. But let's move on step by step. And if there are any resources అందులో ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయి అంటే, it will display here in this section. So let me show one existing resource group. ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏం లేవు. This is also very old resource group, but there are deployments which was 3 and it was succeeded. ఆ డిప్లాయ్ చేసినా కూడా మొత్తం డిలీట్ చేసాం కాబట్టి ప్రస్తుతానికి ఏం లేవు ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, నౌ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్?
హరి సార్, మనం ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా రీసోర్స్ గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత డిప్లాయ్ చేయడానికి వేరే కన్సోల్ ఏమైనా ఉంటుందా సార్, లేకపోతే సేమ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కింద డిప్లాయ్ అనే ఆప్షన్ ఏమన్నా మనకి
No,
డిస్ప్లే?
no. So don't think about it. You'll get confused for sure. డిఫరెంట్ మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి దానికి. ఆ డిప్లాయ్ చేసే టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు నేను చెప్తాను. ఇప్పుడు ఓన్లీ దీని గురించి ఫోకస్ చేయి. ఓకే, దానికి డిఫరెంట్ మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. యూ కెన్ యూజ్ పవర్ షెల్, యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ద టెరాఫార్మ్, యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ద డెవాప్స్, యూ కెన్ యూజ్ అజూర్ కన్సోల్. ఓకే, ఈవెన్ ఇన్ అజూర్ కన్సోల్ యూ హావ్ గాట్ వేరియస్ ఆప్షన్స్. అవన్నీ కూడా చూపిస్తాను. బట్ నౌ ఫోకస్ ఓన్లీ ఆన్ ద క్రియేషన్ ఆఫ్ బ్లాంక్ రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్. అంత కొత్తగా ఉంది కాబట్టి దాన్ని ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ చేస్తే కనుక నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్లో స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ అన్ని తీసుకెళ్తాను. ఓకే,
షూర్ సార్, షూర్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే, నీ ఇంట్రెస్ట్కి ఇప్పుడే చెప్తాను చూడు. ఇక్కడ ఓవర్వ్యూకి వెళ్ళి ఇక్కడ క్రియేట్ కొడతాను. క్రియేట్ కొట్టంగానే ఇన్ని వస్తాయి. మళ్ళీ నీకు ఏ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఇక్కడ. సో ఈ కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ని అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి నేను స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ వెళ్తున్నాను. ఓకే, డైరెక్ట్ గా నేను ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్కి వెళ్ళిపోతే నీకు బేసిక్స్ అర్థం కాకుండా మళ్ళీ రివర్స్ వచ్చి మళ్ళీ ఫ్రంట్కి వెళ్ళి చేసుకోవాలంటే కష్టం అవుతుంది నీకు. రైట్, okay, so we know how to create this resource group, and now the next option here is activity logs. అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ లెవెల్లో ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా అప్డేట్ చేశారా, లేకపోతే ఏదైనా డిలీట్ చేశారా, ఏదైనా కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ చేంజెస్ చేశారా. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ట్రాక్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ యాక్టివిటీస్ at subscription level, you are going to use this activity logs. Why this is important? In your organization, you are not only the one person that you will be using subscription. There will be hundreds of users. So of course they will have different level of permissions. We will see the permissions also. I mean, you're going to see end to end each and every property or setting here. That will make your life easier when you work on any project in Azure. Okay, so activity logs in the sense, if you want to track any activities that are done by any of your users, or whether it is auto generated events or any security events, or if someone has shut down the virtual machine, and he is saying that I did not shut down. If someone is restarted, but and he's saying that I did not do at subscription level. Remember, this activity logs are applicable for subscription level. So if someone has done some changes for a resource under this resource group, I repeat, if someone has changed some configuration for a resource under this resource group, then you can track each and every activity under this. It will display user ID as well, right? So that's the reason you should be using unique ID to track all the activities, and you should not share any of your IDs, and that is a security policy that you know already. So now from this activity logs, if you have multiple subscriptions, again you can choose subscription, but for now we have got only one subscription. I will show enterprise subscription in next session. Okay, just to give you a heads up how it looks like and is there anything different. Event severity. So let's say you want to track only the events which are critical and which is throwing error or which is having warning notifications. So I'm going to choose only the first three event severity levels, and I'm going to choose a time span for last 1 week. Apply. సో ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, ఈ రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసింది జస్ట్ ఇప్పుడు 10 minutes ముందు క్రియేట్ చేసాం, అండ్ నౌ వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఫిల్టర్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ లాస్ట్ 1 week, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ షోయింగ్ ఫెయిల్డ్ బికాస్ ఇక్కడ మనం ఎర్రర్స్ ఏం లేవు, వార్నింగ్స్ ఏం లేవు, క్రిటికల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏం లేదు. సో ఐ విల్ చూస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ యాజ్ వెల్. ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి, నువ్వు క్రియేట్ చేసావు, అక్కడ ఏం చేసావు అనేది అప్డేట్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఎప్పుడు చేసావు, ఎంత ఎంతసేపు ముందు చేసావు, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి డిస్ప్లేడ్ హియర్. ఓకే, నౌ I want to see the data of this activity log for last 1 month. సో ఈ రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్ అండర్లో ఎవరెవరు ఏం చేశారు, ఏమేమి ఎర్రర్స్ వచ్చాయి అన్నీ చూడాలి అంటే for longer duration you can choose. So up to what extent that you can choose here, let me show you that. So today is 6th of June. Let me choose from 1st of January and see here I wanted to show you this notification. So the start time cannot be more than 90 days in the past. It means you can see this activity logs just like our mobile call logs, right? మన కాల్ మొబైల్లో మిస్డ్ కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి, రిసీవ్డ్ కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి, డైల్డ్ కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా. సో అందులో కూడా ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ డిస్ప్లే ఆల్. లెట్స్ సే 1 year యూజ్ చేస్తాను అనుకోండి, 1 year హిస్టరీ కావాలంటే దొరకదు. ఇట్ విల్ షో లెట్స్ సే 2 days 3 days 1 week, డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యువర్ మొబైల్ కెపాసిటీ. ఇక్కడ కూడా అంతే అనమాట. 90 days లో ఉన్న డేటా, ఆ లోపల ఉన్న డేటా మాత్రమే, ఎవరు ఏం చేశారు, ఎవరే కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ చేంజెస్ చేశారు, ఎవరైనా రీస్టార్ట్ చేశారా, షట్ డౌన్ చేశారా, లేకపోతే ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా కొత్తగా క్రియేట్ చేశారా, ప్రతిదీ కూడా ఇక్కడ డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, యాక్టివిటీ లాగ్ ఈజ్ వెరీ క్రూషియల్ ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు ట్రబుల్ షూట్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ యువర్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఇష్యూస్. ఫస్ట్ ఏం జరిగింది తెలుసుకోవాలి కదా. సో ఏం జరిగింది, ఎవరైనా సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ లెవెల్లో చేంజెస్ చేశారా అనేది ఇక్కడ తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేంజ్ చేయలేదంటే నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్కి వెళ్దాం ట్రబుల్ షూటింగ్కి. దట్ వీ విల్ సీ ఎట్ లేటెస్ట్ స్టేజెస్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద సర్వీస్.
అది సార్ బై డిఫాల్ట్ యాక్టివిటీ లాగ్స్లో ఉన్నాయి 90 days డిలీట్ అయిపోతాయి కదా సార్?
ఎస్, 90 days వరకు ఉంటాయి. అంటే ఎట్లా అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ రోజు ఫస్ట్ డే అనుకోండి, ఇప్పటి నుండి బిఫోర్ 90 days వరకు ఉంటాయి. నెక్స్ట్ రేపటికి వచ్చేసరికి లైక్ కన్సిడరింగ్ టుమారో 91st డే అంటే వెరీ ఓల్డ్ డే ఇది డిలీట్ అయిపోతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, సో అట్లా డిక్రిమెంటల్ అవుతా వస్తుంది అనమాట. బట్ అట్ ఎనీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ 90 days ఆఫ్ డేటా గివెన్ దట్ యువర్ రిసోర్స్ ఇప్పుడు నాకు 90 days డేటా కావాలంటే ఇక్కడ దొరకదు, ఎందుకంటే నేను క్రియేట్ చేసింది ఈ రోజు మాత్రమే. అర్థమైందా? ఓకే, hope it is clear.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. So from now onwards, let's take questions at the end, because నేను చెప్పే కాన్సెప్ట్స్ అన్ని కవర్ అయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగితే నాకు ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ మీన్స్ నేను టైం ఇస్తాను, అప్పుడు అడగమని చెప్పి అప్పుడు అడగండి, సో దట్ వీ విల్ నాట్ బి మిస్సింగ్ ఎనీ settings or concepts while I discuss. Right. So activity log is very key. And ఇక్కడ ఈవెంట్ సెవెరిటీ చూసుకున్నాం, ఏ లెవెల్ సెవెరిటీస్ కావాలి చూడొచ్చు. And then you can choose the time span, like how long that you wanted to see these logs. And రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్స్ అంటే నాకు మల్టిపుల్ రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్స్ సంబంధించిన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నాకు ఒకేసారి కావాలంటే కూడా చూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఆల్ రిసోర్స్ గ్రూప్స్. ఓకే, నౌ సో ఐ స్టిల్ వాంటెడ్ టు ఫిల్టర్ అని చెప్పేసి నేను ఏం చేశానంటే, నాకు ఓన్లీ ఒక యూజర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ మాత్రం కావాలి అంటాను నేను. సో ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు యాడ్ ఫిల్టర్ హియర్. I will choose event initiated by, and I am going to type a username that I wanted to see the logs on his or her activity. Let's say user1 అనుకుందాం. user1@outlook.com అనే యూజర్ ఏమేం చేశాడో నేను తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే నాకు 90 days డేటా తీస్తే కనుక ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ hundreds of lines or hundreds of logs, which is difficult for me to filter. So what I can do here is I'm going to choose directly with the name of the user, so that it will be easy for me to track his or her activities. ఏమైనా రాంగ్ చేశారా, కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ చేంజెస్ ఏమైనా చేశారు, ఎందుకంటే మీరు చూస్తుంటారు ఆఫీస్లో చేసేసిన తర్వాత నాకేం తెలియదు అన్నట్టు ఉంటారు, రైట్? సో టు అవాయిడ్ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సిచ్యుయేషన్స్ ఈ యాక్టివిటీ లాగ్స్ అనేది యూజ్ అవుతాయి అనమాట. నౌ రైట్, సో ఈ యాక్టివిటీ లాగ్స్ అన్ని కూడా లెట్స్ సే ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు కీప్ ట్రాక్ ఆఫ్ more than 90 days, the option that we have here is download as a CSV. అంటే ఏంటి, you can download it in the CSV format and keep it for your reference. Every day ఈ యాక్టివిటీ ఎనేబుల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుంటాను, ఒక బ్యాకప్ ఫోల్డర్లో స్టోర్ చేసి పెడతాను. ఎప్పుడైనా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ వస్తే ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు యూజ్ దట్ స్పెసిఫిక్ డేట్ ఫిల్టర్ ఆన్ దట్ CSV ఫైల్ అండ్ ఐ కెన్ సెర్చ్ ఫర్ ఇట్. ఓకే, బట్ పోర్టల్లో అయితే కనుక we will have only for max 90 days at any point of time, and you have an option to export as well. This will go to next level of configuration which we are yet to discuss. ఓకే, ఈ ఎక్స్పోర్టింగ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఈ లాగ్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఒక స్టోరేజ్ లేక మూవ్ చేస్తాం అనమాట. సో ఆప్షన్ డయాగ్నోస్టిక్ సెట్టింగ్స్ స్టోరేజ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు చెప్తాను, ఇప్పుడు వద్దు, డోంట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్. Focus only on the topics that I've discussed, because ఇక్కడికి అక్కడికి జంప్ అయ్యారు అనుకోండి కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయిపోతారు. సో కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయినప్పుడు ఏది అర్థం కాకుండా పోతుంది. సో ఫోకస్ ఓన్లీ ఆన్ దిస్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ విల్ గో స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్.